The Weekend Bang is here, brought to you by nerdreactor.com. In today's episode, I got Cory, Gando, and the sober Jake. And we're going to talk about the DC lineup. That's right, Marvel announced their big plan for their movies all the way to 2020, and DC did too. You may have missed it because nobody really listens to DC, but we do. We also listen to you, and the way you can talk to us is by heading over to Twitter and following us and giving us some comments at Video Game Bang. Then head over to facebook.com/videogamebangbang and leave us a message. We like to hear from you as much as you like to hear from us. Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman all have plans in store, and we're going to tell you all about them on this week's episode of The Weekend Bang. It starts right now.
Video Game Bang.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Video Game Bang. Your weekly source for all things video game. Featuring your fearless hosts, Cory Vincent.
I'm pretty much Microsoft and Marvel. The cans are on. It's when ish gets real. People get shot during the day?
And Aaron Carter.
Buy the armor, I equip it, and it's like pink thong. The guy that delivers vending machine items in my job, he could play the right.
Fill up your Mountain Dew and grab your Doritos. It's time for Video Game Bang.
Turn your radio down, turn your radio down. This is the Weekend Bang, brought to you by nerdreactor.com. What are you reacting to? I'm Sir Aaron Carter. And how you doing today, everybody?
I'm doing just dandy.
Are we supposed to answer?
All right.
We didn't do intros yet.
We didn't do. Okay, let's do
slipping.
some intros. What do you mean slipping?
You slipping?
You should still talk. You can. I mean, this is America, right?
That is true.
Exactly. You heard his voice, everybody. He's here 90% of the time.
90% of the time, all the time.
And if he were a Justice League member, he'd be Aquaman. Cory Vincent, everybody.
I call bullshit on that one.
Why is that?
I'm not gay, first of all.
Wow,
Second of all,
Aquaman is firmly
Second
heterosexual.
Of all, people actually like me.
People like Aquaman. My sister's favorite superhero.
How old is your sister?
She's 30-something. There you go. King of Atlantis. Bulletproof.
sister,
There's a lot of things that people don't know about him.
I'm a bachelor until Friday. Is your sister seeing anybody?
No, she's not. I say, hey, double sister date?
Oh. No, I'm not willing to make that trade.
Wow.
I'm not willing to make that
Did you
trade.
get a hall pass, Cory?
My wife doesn't listen to the show, first
Terrible.
of all. So.
You heard his voice. He said Cory. He's related to Cory. So if he was a Justice League member, first of all, his name would be Jake. And second of all, he would be Martian Manhunter, everybody.
Why does he get Martian
That's
Manhunter?
way
That's
OP.
way
Oh,
off.
man.
Is that bad that I don't know who that is?
Yes.
That's very bad that you don't know who that
That's
is.
exactly why.
This is terrible. This whole thing is bullshit
How is
already.
that BS already? I don't understand.
I've proposed we restart the podcast.
Wow.
I also want to go for Superman.
Nobody's Superman. Trust me. I never put anybody as Superman. And last, rounding off but not least, member of here who doesn't like DC as much as he likes Marvel, which is okay. A lot of people do. David Ng. And
Hello,
if he
everybody.
were a Justice League member,
He should have been Martian Manhunter.
he'd be Ray Palmer. The Atom.
Okay. I like the Atom.
There it is. Is that
the
good
guy
enough?
Is that the guy that can grow and shrink?
Yeah.
That's the guy that can shrink.
Oh.
He doesn't grow
He does
beyond
not
normal
grow.
size.
Yeah, he just has shrinkage.
Wow, so that's why you named David that?
I don't know about his shrinkage, you know. I don't
Okay,
get
and then
into
who
it.
are you in this scenario?
I'd probably be somebody like
Hawkman.
nah. Probably Jon Stewart, Green Lantern.
Mr. Terrific.
Yeah. Jon
You're
Stewart,
done.
Green Lantern.
You're done.
How's that bad?
Because first of all, I'm not Aquaman, God damn it.
Why wouldn't you be
Second of all, Jake Martian Manhunter, isn't the Martian
Yes.
Manhunter's personality like quiet and strong and
This
confident?
is the thing.
That is all things that are complete opposite of Jake.
This is the thing.
He is loud, weak.
I am
Wow.
quiet. I
Wow.
am quiet.
Jake, would you like to defend yourself?
I don't know who I'm defending.
Wow. Terrible. Last week's episode, we talked about, or not last week's episode, the previous episode before this, we talked about Marvel throughout the whole show. It was an awesome, awesome show. We talked comic books from beginning to end. which we rarely do here, but we like to get it in
We
sometimes.
gotta change it up every once in a while. And the one time we start talking about all this comic book stuff is like when all the biggest launches of video games are supposed to be coming out.
Yeah, but I mean, Marvel overshadowed anything that came out in the last, 3 days or so.
This
so
is true.
you gotta give it up to Marvel. But being a non-biased show, which we are, we gotta go DC today, people.
I like to.
What?
We gotta go DC because while everybody was salivating and salivating over Marvel's next, decade worth of freaking movies that are coming out, DC was somewhere in a Radio Shack doing their announcement about their next movies that are coming out. Exactly, yeah, and it's all coming down. Wow.
He's going crazy with the soundboard today.
Yeah, he's really having fun with that soundboard. And we didn't talk about it at all. It just kind of got overshadowed altogether. There's some iconic characters here. You got Batman, Superman, Cyborg, Wonder Woman.
Why'd you put Cyborg above Wonder Woman?
Bum, 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 bum.
Because I need somebody black in there.
You didn't have that song on the soundboard?
No, I don't.
That's so
But
terrible.
you know what I do have?
Which is a part of Marvel, basically.
An asthma
Yeah,
attack?
that's Marvel.
That's basically Marvel still. I had a question before we go any further to this. Why does Superman have a secret identity?
Because he wants to live a normal life.
It makes no sense to me. Makes no sense to me. The man has virtually no weaknesses
Why does he even need a day job? Yeah, he could just stay in the Fortress of Solitude
all day.
It's to protect the people that he loves, like Lois.
See, now I
Now,
thought
maybe
that
that's a little
too.
creepy.
I thought that too, but think about when he first came to Metropolis, when he knew nobody. Had nobody that he loved, right? Besides the Kents. Nobody knew who he was then.
He doesn't want the trouble. He wants to be able to go home, relax, have a beer without being attacked.
He probably can't get drunk, first of all.
I
Yeah,
highly
that's
doubt
true.
that.
Yeah, so it's...
He puts a little kryptonite in his beer.
I'm just gonna poison myself here.
Is that what we all do, really?
Yeah, that's alcohol.
Yeah.
It's poison.
Okay, that's an acceptable answer, actually. Kryptonite in the beer. If somebody doesn't make a drink like that called kryptonite beer, I have no idea what this planet
Come with a
is.
better name
It's
than that,
Mountain
please.
Dew mixed with vodka.
That's horrible.
A little
but,
Patron.
but that bugged me because I just watched one of DC's actual animated movies, the Justice League War, which is a very good one. DC knows how to do their animated movies. If you haven't seen it, go out there and check it out. And it just was like he was fighting Batman, and that's the age-old question: who would win, Batman versus Superman? What came first, the chicken or the egg? It's older than that one. And he's flying like lightning speed towards Batman after mopping the floor with Batman, and then Batman just stops and says, he's like, you don't kill, you only bruise, Clark. And then he stops him dead in his track.
How did you know?
Right? Like, that's everything you could have done to Superman, but saying his real name, and he's like,
Now I have to kill
now I
you.
I can't even do anything to you now. You know who I am. I was like, okay. See, that's how I know Batman wins in a fight. Always against Superman. Because stuff like that stops you, you're done. You're done. But I digress. That's terrible. We're talking about DC today, everybody. Like I said, Marvel came out with their whole lineup of movies. DC did the exact same thing. So we're going to run down the lineup of things that DC said they were coming out with. The first one that's big, and actually I think is going up against the...
Captain America?
Yeah, the Civil War.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
going to launch on the same day.
Which is just...
Could that be a part of the reason that they, looking back, they were like, all right, we're going to have a Cap movie.
Uh-huh.
And then they announced that Batman was going to launch on the same day. And I thought I remember there being a story that they were going to change the date of Captain America, but then they decided not to.
They may have changed...
I wonder if they're like, oh shit, we better change the date. And then someone said, no, if they're going to bring two people together, we're going to bring Cap and Iron Man. So really what we have is Batman versus Superman going against not Captain America Civil War, but it's actually going against Captain America versus Iron Man.
Yeah.
So they're both bringing star power. And it's going to be, I wonder which one's going to get the most. I mean, it's got to be Marvel, right?
Marvel!
We'll see.
Well, no, there's no we'll see. That's definite.
But
you know why?
No,
Because
but
there's a-
this is like old school versus new because we've always had Superman and Batman were always in the movies.
Yes,
since
but not
before-
together.
No, not together, but they've been part of culture longer, pop culture, longer than Iron Man and Captain
But
America.
You can say culture. You can just say culture.
But-
No, it's pop culture because, I mean, of course, everything's in culture, but as far as like the nerd pop culture, we've always had Batman movies. We've always had Superman movies, but Captain America, Iron Man,
it's
that's
fairly new. Yes.
So we're gonna
Fairly
see. That's huge.
It's gonna be Robert Downey Jr. versus what's his
Ben.
name? Chris.
No, it's not Christian Bale. If that's what are you talking about? Chris Nolan?
No. Who's playing Captain America?
Oh, Chris
Oh,
Evans.
Chris
yeah,
Evans?
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans, and it's Ben Affleck versus.
I don't even know who the guy's name
exactly.
is. Superman.
So
I
I
can't
think
even
I
tell
think
you.
Robert
it's
Downey
Peter
Jr.
Capaldi.
No, it's definitely not Peter Capaldi.
I think Robert Downey Jr. is gonna win because I
Ben.
love Robert Downey Jr. Marry me.
But we have Batman versus Superman:
I'll get a
Dawn
divorce.
of Justice. And when this was announced, they started dropping so many superheroes just in this movie because at first everybody was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, it's Batman versus Superman."
Yeah, all the rumors I've heard is just like, okay, every character basically is going to show up. So
Yeah.
they're just going to be standing in a line, and the camera's just going to pan past them all.
Yep.
Over.
I actually read an article that said it was a little spoiler where it said that there are two suits that they've shown so far that Batman will be wearing. Ben Affleck. One is his basic one that you guys have seen where he
The
looks all
sad
emo.
Affleck.
Sad Batman.
And then the other one is the robotic suit that's actually laced with kryptonite.
Oh,
Back from the one that's modeled after the
Yeah,
Dark
the
Knight
one
Returns.
that's modeled off the Dark Knight, but with more kryptonite in it. Which I don't think the Dark Knight one had any kryptonite.
No, it
in
did not.
No, yes. So yeah, with tons more of kryptonite. And I was like, if that's what they do to
Are you gonna be pissed if it turns into like a giant like a fight scene, somewhat like we got to see in the last Superman movie, but with Batman just in a suit?
I'm already pissed that they're putting these two versus each other in the first place.
why?
It seems like they're gonna have a lot more trouble coming up with a good reason to make them fight
Yes.
and keep continuity than Marvel has. Because
I'd be
Civil
more
War is
more worried about like because Dark Knight Returns was like the end of their like characters, like they were fighting. Like, how are you going to make these characters fight in the middle of the movie and then come together to a Justice League movie next?
Yeah.
after that.
Because Batman's going to try to kill you is what the movie is going to be. It's not going to be he's trying to contain this person to show, oh, everyone don't have to be afraid of Superman. He's going to go out there and try to kill this guy. And then the next movies that they want to push on everybody is, we're teammates now, guys.
Well,
Like,
I'm the guy. I'm the outsider guy. I don't really pay attention too much to comic books, but don't they both Superman and Batman don't kill? Isn't that both their rules?
that's supposed to be their rules, yes. Batman and Superman both have killed in comic books before, earlier issues, like, those 1930s and stuff like that. But and then actually later ones with Batman. Batman has actually killed a man in later fatality. And then I have no idea how he says he can't kill, but in like the Dark Knight, trilogy, he's using like rockets on his car and not one person dies.
shot the shit out of Bane. You
Yeah,
know?
like that didn't kill anybody.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I thought it was Catwoman that killed Bane.
Oh
Catwoman-
yeah, it was. Huh?
Yeah,
push-
she did kill him.
Yeah, it was.
Basically killed him.
She don't give a shit.
But yeah, this is supposed to be the lead up to their big Avengers, basically. And they're having Aquaman
This one
in
will
there.
definitely tell us how strong their franchise is going to be.
I don't know why you would start with this though. Like Marvel did it so perfectly, and even though like you, and then you use the argument that DC runs the TV space.
They do.
They do.
And I was thinking, yeah, that's true. So maybe if they leverage Arrow and Flash and make them cross over into this DC cinematic universe, that'd be money in the bank. That'd be so cool because everybody that I know that is like kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and the people that want to go to Comic-Con and the people that do the nerd stuff, they're all into Arrow right now. Arrow is hot,
Yeah.
and they're not going to capitalize on that. They've cast someone else as Flash for the movies.
And the director of the Flash TV show said he wants to see his Flash as the Flash in the movies. He's gone out and saying, yeah, that's who needs to be the Flash.
It has to be. Why are you going to create two
they're-
continuities?
Unlike Marvel's setup, they have separated the TV universe from the movie universe.
Marvel says everything's one.
Yes, which is amazing because I was just watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and it feels like you're not in the same, like you haven't left that universe that you've seen in the movie theaters. They're talking about events that happened. They're like when the Chitauri, came out of the sky in, 2012 or whatever like that, this and this happened and all that type of crap. And I was like, yeah, it's just like, we're just watching a continuation of a storyline that's continuing to go on and everything, just different parts, like how comic books usually do, right? They have like a huge overarching story, but then they have little side stuff that still goes on within that same universe.
Yeah, exactly.
That
DC
reminds me of
has
House.
no idea.
Yeah, DC they're too far behind on Marvel right now, so they need to try something else to kickstart their
So you think
It's
this
not
is
the
a
answer to
you
me.
think this is a quick dash towards the
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this is like the quick thing. Like, okay, put our two biggest names on it, and then introduce our side characters in it as little cameos, and then we'll do like full-on movies to explain them later on.
They got Jason Momoa as Aquaman. You know, the Dothraki.
Oh yeah, Khal Drago.
Some random black guy that I don't know as Cyborg is already signed on. They have
You know,
Are you gonna run through the list and show like what's in what order?
yeah, this is 2016 right now. So Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. Then it says August 5th, 2016. We have Suicide Squad.
really?
Yep.
That's gonna be the second
That's
one?
interesting that they would go
Yeah.
with that next, because that's like all lesser known characters.
And then we don't. Is there even confirmation that Suicide Squad is going to take place in the same universe?
none whatsoever?
So this
far.
could be its own standalone thing. I
This
think
definitely
we
could
might
be.
be all expecting them to try and pull a Marvel, but they're like, no, Suicide Squad's its own standalone movie. This is its own thing.
You know, and then they might wait to do that and just like say, okay, this movie didn't do very well. Let's just
Yeah.
say that this is its own universe.
But
guys.
the
This didn't
smart
apply
thing to
anything.
do is to actually put it in this universe, because there's no real introduction to any bad guys. Because if you think about the Marvel, they introduced a whole bunch of enemies and bad guys that are going to be continuing to go through their franchise. You got your Loki, you got Thanos, so they're going to be in further ones. Everybody that's been in the DC type of things, they've killed them pretty much at the end of everything. So if they go Suicide Squad and introduce a group of a whole bunch of bad guys, then later on they could be like, oh well, this one came back, and they could tie it in somehow.
And again, Suicide Squad that they kind of built in the Arrow universe was awesome.
It was awesome.
So they're competing with themselves. There's gonna have two different dead shots.
It's really going to turn off a lot of the less dedicated like comic book fans, because I've had people that come to me and ask me about like the X-Men franchise, and like they're just like, okay, so how does this movie fit in with this movie? And like I have to sit down and explain to them, okay, so like these things don't really match up, but like they're kind of supposed to, so just ignore that part and just like forget about that part and enjoy this part for the movie. And
Yeah.
That same year, there's no real more superhero type movies. There's just Lego Ninjago, which is DC stuff. Fantastic Beasts and Where I Find Them is something else.
which is a spin-off of Harry Potter.
It is
I think that's what the note said, isn't it?
spin-off of Harry Potter.
That's what
Spin-off?
that's the trilogy, the Harry Potter spin-off.
Yeah, because it's part one.
Yeah,
So-
that's the spin-off of Harry Potter.
I don't know.
So
too
it takes
much
place in the same universe as
yeah.
Harry Potter.
No, it's taking place in the TV universe of the Harry Potter.
Oh,
And,
really?
yeah, it's not gonna. It's a totally separate.
Okay. I get it. You never know anymore. Is it going to deal with the video game version of Harry Potter
it's
as well?
the Lego version actually, exclusively the Lego version. 2017 will start you off with the Lego Batman. 'Cause
Another version of Batman? Oh,
I mean,
God.
Batman never gets old. You can put him in every
Oh,
different
my
form, except for that steampunk one that was in Infinite Crisis.
Yeah, please.
Yes, that was terrible. Then we get our first female lead in Wonder Woman in 2017, coming out before Captain Marvel.
That's good.
What do we think about that one?
I like that.
I don't know.
They're
What
the
are,
big three.
what are they going to do with Wonder Woman? Though?
Here's the thing. I read an article online that it's rumored that her story might be set in 1920. Right?
What?
Weird.
So that's like back when the man first arrived on their island.
So it's
then, right?
like it's a early Captain America type of thing.
Is she going to get frozen? And
I don't know. See, this is the thing. Now,
Well, I don't know.
goes
how
back to your
Amazonians
question.
I was gonna say, what-
do stuff though. Like I don't know if they age normally.
This is the going back to your question of is it going to be all separate universes or is it going to be just one thing? If they do her story in the olden times, is she just going to be a full separate character and they're just going to do a full separate franchise and she has nothing to do with the Wonder Woman that's in the
oh my gosh,
the other one?
This could be a disaster.
Like
We should
huge
assume the
disaster.
best. We should assume the best and say that they're just going to do something. She's going to find a time portal.
Dude, that's terrible.
If I'm assuming the best, then I'm just going to ignore that rumor from 1920.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
hopefully it is just a rumor, and she has her own standalone. Now, see, I don't know too much about Wonder Woman at all, but it seems like the internet has been clamoring for a Wonder Woman movie, which I don't understand why. Maybe it's because she's one of the big three. You
Yeah,
know?
she is. She is the
It's the
Trinity. It's the
feminists.
top three.
It's the feminists. They want a strong woman figure.
Wow, I saw that feminist lady on the Colbert Report. She actually-
Anita Sarkeesian?
yeah. So actually, it seems like she got more popular from all this.
From
then-
Gamergate. Maybe maybe Gamergate was an inside job.
Wow, let's not start that at all.
It's a different episode, guys.
That's a conspiracy.
And then part 2, part 1, it says, of the Justice League comes out 2017, November 10th.
So do you think this means it's a actual part 1 and part 2, like they belong together, or it's like a phase 1?
No, I think part 1. I think they're splitting it up. I
Okay.
think they're going to split it up.
Well, that's a long downtime in between because I think was there a full year in between Avengers movies?
Yeah, right? The
Okay,
Infinity Wars?
Because this one says November 2017 we'll have Justice League 1, and then we're not getting Justice League Part 2 until June 2019.
Well, you got to come up with some type of bad guys in
I think it is pretty close to that same gap because they have the 2 movies in between,
Okay.
and they usually do about 2 movies a year.
And there's like you get an idea when Marvel, when they came out with their announcement, they were like, Avengers, Infinity War. So you get an idea. Okay, I kind of know what this is going to be.
Right. Well, as it gets closer, I'm sure they'll announce a more detailed subtitle.
Yeah, but how far away is Infinity War? And even with that title, what's going to be.
Marvel's got themselves pretty well established right now, so they already know their plot lines.
Because there's a lot of plot lines in. They could be like, oh, this is Justice League Infinite Crisis.
But what
but-
we've seen from Marvel is the distinct ability to take a known and loved comic book storyline and tweak it to fit Hollywood without destroying the integrity of the product. And that's new to comic books. Like, we've never seen Batman do it, really.
No, Batman has done it fine.
When?
With the Nolan movies.
Yeah, that's it. That's recently.
And
I'm
then
talking about
the first 2, at least of the...
Don't tell me
one.
George Clooney.
No,
Batman
that's why I said
Forever
the first 2.
bullcrap.
That's why I said the first 2, at least.
Are you telling me
The old
everybody was
Jack
cool with the
Nicholson.
extremist tweaking and the what's his name?
I was fine
Chris
with
Evans.
Huh?
The Extremist
Oh, you
storyline.
mean
The extremist and
Mandarin?
The
the
Mandarin?
letdown. Yeah, the Mandarin.
I was not fine with the Mandarin, but if you watch the short, All Hail the King, then they're going to fix that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's nothing huge broken, I guess.
No,
Yeah, just
and
for the time
Extremis
being,
was
right?
the main thing. I mean, I was kind of worried that they were going to tackle Extremis and like a full functioning, I guess, Mandarin in one story would have been 1 2-hour period wouldn't have been enough.
Mm-hmm.
But doing what they did and tying the phony Mandarin to the Extremis
Spoiler
is
alert.
beautiful.
Spoilers.
Spoiler alert. Like, if you haven't seen...
You haven't
That
seen
by
that
now.
yet.
Then you don't give a shit of what's coming out in 2020.
Yeah.
But we have not seen that from DC since the Nolan movie.
No.
Every one is a letdown. Like the last Superman even was a letdown, right? They consider it a success. They're trying to build Justice
money
League.
wise, yeah, that's why.
I don't think it was that huge.
I think it made a
was
decent amount of money.
But it was a dumb movie.
It didn't.
Lumberjack Superman for whatever reason.
I never like seeing
The ladies love
Superman. Like that seemed like a Wolverine type of thing. Like he goes through this I have to find myself quest. You know who you are. You're a freaking alien with like unlimited power. Go to Metropolis and then fight super beings. That's all you need to do. You don't need to go and find yourself, grow a beard, and like cut down trees for a living just to find Clark. No, you need to just go and fight, you know, the heavy hitters, the dark side.
Certain aspects were good. Some of the flashback things were young Superman finding his powers and the dad part, whatever. I could accept that. But then the part like him being a lumberjack, and the other part was the whole thing, like him and who's the bad guy? Zod were destroying the city, murdering hundreds, thousands,
Avenger
probably.
style destruction.
Yeah,
yes.
buildings toppling over, life's ruined. You know, dads that'll never come home, all that kind of stuff. Whatever, bullshit. But then, so they killed thousands, and then he's so upset when he snaps the bad guy's neck in 2 seconds
to save like 3 people.
Yeah, to save 3 people.
It's a lot of bad, and it's all the director. The director said he felt like he needed Superman to have that, you know, I'm gonna snap his neck type of thing to get him. I don't know, to get him away from his, you know, Boy Scout. But I think Superman needs that Boy Scout type
That's
of
like his whole
personality.
character.
Because if you don't have that, then you just have an unchecked super being that is just like because he's invincible. They have written Superman to invincibility. Nothing can stop this person.
Other thing that ruined that movie is, yeah, you're right. They did that. They gave him the emotional arc of like, so I was thinking, oh, sweet. Maybe in the next one, we're going to have Dark Superman, and he's going to be going through conflict and internal struggle. And he's going to have a big beard and, you know, have to go through some trials and tribulations. But then at the end of the movie, there's that extra little scene where he's shaved and he's like, "Hey, I'm
Fine.
ready to do good, guys."
Yeah, exactly.
Like, bullshit. You could have left us on a cliffhanger, and I would have liked it better.
But see, the other thing, and this is all, like I said, the director. From the beginning, they were putting that in your idea that, okay, even if he killed somebody, you're going to get over that. His dad, when he should have let the kids die on the bus type of thing, that's what his dad says. When he's like, should I let him die? He's like, yeah, I don't know. Like, Paul Kent would have never said like that. He would have been like, no, you saved the little bastard. You get out of there. That's why that's why he's the way he is now, because Ma and Pa Kent have taught him, this wholesome way. That's the only reason why he's don't kill, Boy Scout type of person. He didn't learn all that on his own. If he was just dropped into L.A., then he would have been some type of gang member, selling drugs and taking over the crime syndicate or something. But he was dropped in the middle of nowhere, Kansas, and like he's, raised by those, wholesome type of American people is what they describe it as.
America.
So I don't understand why they wanted to make this killing is all right to an extent type of thing with this Superman. Like he never, for one point during that Zod fight, ever stops to look around to see if anybody's in danger with shrapnel and debris coming down.
They do that in other movies, like Spider-Man, for example. He'll be fighting a bad guy in the streets, and then like you'll see a girl like about to get hit by something, but Spider-Man jumps in the middle of it with a web blast and saves her.
Yeah.
I didn't really see that in the Superman
No,
movies.
I mean they do that a lot in the Superman Returns movie. He's like crisscrossed the entire city to save people, and he was like vaporizing glass so it wouldn't fall on people, and like taking out fires.
Yeah. See, they completely abandoned
That's more
that.
the Superman character, and then he just like blows up a whole city instead.
The Man of Steel just kind of seemed like that wasn't Superman. That was a super-powered being, yes, but that was just like I say with Transformers. That's not Transformers.
Where the hell was his red Speedo tights? That's what really pisses me off.
I'm
Really?
fine
That's what
with
pisses you
I'm fine with the transformation, because in New 52 they change it like that too, right?
That was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Wow. That was all in 2017, correct? Yep, 3 movies in 2017 we're getting.
Let's speed through this shit.
2018, we still got 3 more years to go through.
Let's speed through this shit.
We got The Flash coming up in March 2018.
And if it's not the Flash from the TV show,
which all indications are it's not going to be.
Exactly.
bullshit.
Which oh my god, that show is just like so amazing. I caught up with it, of course, last night.
Everybody who's told me about
It's
it
so
says
good.
good things.
Have you not watched any of it?
I can't watch it when my wife's out of town.
Oh my gosh.
I get in trouble.
And then they're crossing over like it's nothing too. So Arrow characters are just going over there saying
As
what's
they
up.
should, because it's a
it's good.
the guys who make Arrow and Flash have made a cohesive universe for DC that they're just gonna fucking throw in the corner and ignore like a redheaded stepchild.
If you want to
It's
talk about
stupid.
something that's irritating, you watch the Arrow and you know the character Felicity Smoke, correct?
Yeah.
I hate the fact that they
You were just ranting about this yesterday.
Yes, that they make her seem like she's an ugly person and she feels like she's an ugly person.
know, and then they're like in the scene, like she did a casino thing, and they let her hair down and stuff,
Yes.
and put her in, and they're like, "Yeah, see, she was hot the whole time."
No, she's
You're
been
like,
hot
no
with
shit.
Yeah.
Of course
She
she
was
is.
hot with the glasses on. What's wrong with you?
I know.
So I just saw some pictures where they're going to do a story arc with her and her mother, who's hot as well. Like whoever's
but
older.
more like boobies hanging out hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna
Yeah.
But then they're gonna show Felicity's younger self when she was into goth and how she wasn't, she looks hot as a goth girl too. So it's like, all right, what are you trying to prove here?
All the
I don't
stuff about
understand this.
Felicity, like everybody loves Felicity and everything, but I'm still Team Laurel.
Yeah, well, she's starting to get. See, you haven't watched any of the latest
I can't
stuff.
watch season 3 until my wife gets
are
back.
Terrible. Do you at least know who her character is supposed to be, though?
Isn't it another bird name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's gonna be. Her in the comics. She's supposed to be.
I know, and they
Black
did,
Canary.
they slapped you over the face with it whenever Canary leaves and leaves the jacket.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, it fits." And
Yeah.
then the dad's like, "Don't get any ideas."
Yeah. Don't you
Oh,
become a
he's
superhero?
stupid. That's like the one cheesiest part of the whole show. But she, I'm Team Laurel. I love her. And you know who her father is?
No.
David Cassidy from the Partridge Family. Get it? So Partridge.
Wow.
Canary.
So she's gonna be the partridge.
Yeah.
All right, people. When we return, because I hear the music dwindling down, we're going to talk about the last 2 years of DC, and then we're going to actually go and switch it back up to Marvel because we have some Marvel news. So stick around for the Weekend Bang, where we're talking nothing but comic books once again. I'm sorry, Aaron Carter. Oh, wow. They were supposed to say some more?
Hi, this is Amber Goldfarb, the voice of Aveline de Grandpré, and you're listening to Video Game Bang.
Hello, this is Cass Anvar Altair Ibn La'ahad from Assassin's Creed Revelation, and you are listening to the Video Game Bang.
This is Strife, the main guy behind Freedom Planet.
This is Commander Torque.
Hi, this is Lilac the Dragon Girl.
This is Spade.
This is Mayor Zhao.
This is Syntax.
Greetings, this is Lord Brevin, and you're listening to Video Game Bang.
+5 awesome.
Hey man, I'm Kevin Smith.
Jason Mewes.
And you're listening to the Video Game Bang, which sounds a lot dirtier than it is.
This is Janice Davis, author of Holder's Dominion, and you're listening to Video Game Bang with superstar, incredibly charming hosts.
Hello, Super Aaron. Hello, Princess Cory. It's me, Mario. Woohoo! Mamma mia. You guys, number one. Woohoo!
Shit.
Damn. That's a user thing. You know, sometimes the users give the best reviews on websites.
No, I like it
they
better.
They give very honest reviews.
I like it better when the guy who created the product and makes the money
is trying to sell it to you.
Yeah, I like that.
Sometimes they give the worst reviews. Remember our review on the hotel that we stayed in?
I was being facetious. Yeah.
Because they were like, I couldn't stand how the bathroom was here, located on that floor and stuff. I was like,
oh, yeah.
And then when we got there, we were like, not so bad.
Well, because a lot of people who review hotels are rich white people. And those are probably the number one customer of hotels. So, like, when us, poor white people and black guy.
I was about to say, I'm not a poor white person. What are you talking about?
Get into a hotel. We're like, oh, this is sweet. This is badass. There's a bathroom in here?
Yeah, that's what I was like. Free soap?
It's not just a bucket.
Free soap?
Oh, my God.
It's
like
every day. Waters.
And see, the other thing, real quick. Welcome to the Weekend Bang, everybody. We're talking about hotels. The other thing that I was like, that was not bad. They changed out didn't they change out the towels each day?
Every single damn day they change the towels.
And I was like, that's not bad service. What was the reviewers talking about? They're idiots.
Yeah, they're idiots.
They're freaking idiots.
That was weird, though, because it was like you could wash your hands in the sink and take a dump at the same time.
Doesn't everybody want to do that, though?
I did. It saved a lot of time, actually.
Yeah. If you were in a race, I guess, yes.
It was E3, so everything was a race.
A side note, have you seen that video of the girl that walks 10 hours through Manhattan? Or through New York?
Yes.
Have you seen the parody of it?
Skyrim?
No, not the Skyrim. There's a white guy that walks 10 hours through New York. And everybody's giving him compliments and then trying to give him free bank loans. And
wow.
And then high fives down the street and stuff like that. Like everybody. And then at the end, they lift him up like he's a king and they give him crowns and stuff like that.
That's how it is. That's how it is.
I was like, that's terrible.
Walk around with me downtown and...
Wow. You get a free bank loan, apparently.
They go, Cory. Boombayé.
Wow. That's terrible. The Africans that populate downtown.
Yeah.
We were talking about the DVDs released in 2014.
We're talking about DVDs released in 2000.
Yeah.
Godzilla, everybody.
DC,
Matthew Broderick.
DC had their quiet release party or whatever of all their movies that are coming out. We're on the year 2018.
Yeah, we talked about Flash.
We talked about
disappointment.
Flash. There's going to be another Lego sequel.
What?
Yep. That's for the kids. You got to remember.
I liked the first Lego movie. That one was really good.
Corey, you're excited for this one. Aquaman. I don't know what that was.
I'm interested to see how it goes.
Do you think
I want
it's
to
going
see
to
if
be
they
Momoa?
can revitalize the character.
There was a high point in his career?
Well, I mean, he was actually like a prominent member of the Justice League.
He is a prominent member of the Justice League.
But people don't give him any respect anymore.
He's literally like number 4.
If this is like, if they kind of reimagine Atlantis as being like the Dothraki from Game of Thrones,
that would be terrible.
I'm in.
The Atlanteans are like an intelligent,
very civilized.
Yeah, civilized, and they have magic. Like they're almost the Wakanda of the ocean.
They're pretty much the Wakanda.
Yeah,
of the
they
ocean.
pretty much are the Wakanda of the ocean.
Momoa should have been tied to that Black Bolt movie.
I could see that.
I see him more than The Rock.
He could have been Black Adam, yes.
And then make The Rock Shazam or something.
No.
What?
No, The Rock should not be Shazam.
Why?
But, no, that's like
He doesn't
saying
have
The
any
Rock.
hair.
That's like saying The Rock should have been Hercules. No, he shouldn't have been Hercules.
Yeah, Hercules had hair.
He shouldn't have been Hercules. He
But it
should
happened.
be Shazam. In Shazam, speaking of the devil, that's the first movie after Fantastic Beasts where they find the way things part 2.
Make The Rock the Green Lantern. How about that?
He could be a Green Lantern.
He should be...
but not one of the Green Lanterns. Not a Jon Stewart.
He should be Jon Stewart.
No.
They should make Vin Diesel Lex.
Because Jon Stewart can only...
Huh?
Who?
Vin Diesel? Make him Lex Luthor?
He would never
Lex
do
Luthor?
it.
Oh my god.
He's sold out for Marvel.
Yeah, he's Marvel. And that's not selling out. That's buying in.
I
sir.
would totally go into Marvel.
No, sellout isn't always bad, but I just mean like he's sold out for that. Like he's not going to go around.
Yeah, I would pick... I'm sorry. As much as I love Batman, I would pick Marvel.
And those two
movies,
franchises are fighting so much that they're not going to let their actors go across.
Yeah. It'd be too confusing.
It would be very confusing.
Didn't
for
they
the
do that
audiences.
with, what's his name? He was Green Lantern and then he was,
Yeah, exactly why we don't want to do that.
So if they
Ryan
reboot
Reynolds.
it,
Ryan Reynolds.
So they have...
He was Deadpool.
Yeah.
Aquaman already we saw. Fantastic Beasts, the Harry Potter spinoff. And then 2019 we're getting the Shazam with The Rock as
Black Adam.
Black Adam, which I don't know who they've cast as, the Shazam himself.
They probably haven't cast him.
They
yet.
probably have
Who
not.
do you think it'll be?
I don't know. You just need somebody big and buff, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. That's all you need.
That's all you need. Some Superman type of character.
Barista.
Who? Barista.
What's his name?
A coffee.
Batista?
Batista.
No, you meant the
See,
Starbucks
that's already-
barista.
You're naming Marvel actors again.
Yeah, quit naming Marvel actors.
And in that same year, 2019, we're getting the Justice League Part 2.
His name should be Barista now.
That's terrible. He just serves coffee. That's all he does. Yeah, Justice League Part 2, we have no idea what that's going to be because, of course, they have no,
they're just doing it.
Yeah.
They're just going to copy, all the scenes that had Thanos where he turns around in the chair, just insert Darkseid. They probably won't even have to change much since they look the exact damn same anyways.
God honest truth, I like Darkseid better than Thanos.
Wow, David might slap you in the mouth right now.
Why is that?
No, that's fine. You can have your own opinions.
Yeah, see?
That's not fun.
Well, see, because Darkseid, they're so similar. They're both, looking for what Thanos is looking for. He's trying to court death, correct?
Yes.
And Darkseid's looking for the anti-life equation. That's the same thing.
Pretty much.
Yeah, the same thing. They have the same about build, right?
Yeah.
Because they look,
Except one has eye lasers and one has hand lasers.
You just move the lasers from one place to the other.
That's totally different.
But I like how Darkseid... Well, I don't know too much about Thanos because I haven't seen him in any real
I will
media.
give you some material if you want.
You're going to have to give me some because from what I know from Darkseid, he's kind of just direct. I'm going to kill everything quickly. I get there, I get the job done, I get out.
Nah, he does a lot of
he does a lot of plotting and planning.
Yeah, he does a lot of subtle stuff with spies and everything.
All the movies I've seen him.
Do you remember the old Superman animated TV show?
I do.
He had so many agents that he sent to Earth to try and
you
mess
gotta
stuff up.
send stuff first. You don't just walk in there and
But spies and they were kind of supplying villains with weapons and everything.
Then he goes for the pain too. And what I mean by going for the pain is I can kill you, but then that's it. We're done. In the Superman animated series,
he enjoys torturing people.
He shoots the eye laser straight at Superman, then curves it around and shoots the cop human behind him, kills him.
Yeah.
They died in that WB episode. And
I
was
remember
like,
that.
You killed a man?
Awesome.
I'm a kid. What do we? I don't need to know about death at this age. And then he just left. He was like, "Yep, there it is."
Fatality.
Exactly.
Yeah, he actually said something like, "Victories have their own consequences."
Exactly. And then he bounced. And Superman does the whole thing that you thought was going to happen. And it
life
goes
lessons in
crazy. And he starts smashing stuff. And he goes through this period of, oh man, I've got emo syndrome all of a sudden. So yeah. That's the cartoons know how to do it. I don't know why the movies don't know how to do it.
So this Justice League Part 1 and 2, it tells you that they're going to be obviously there's going to be two parts, and that they're not going to be able to resolve it in one. So it's got to be someone massive like
Darkseid. It's the only person you can put in these.
Is he the only one though? Is there anybody else? Doomsday maybe.
The first one is that star creature.
Doomsday maybe. Oh yeah, Starro.
But they're not going to do that. That's stupid.
It has to be someone that doesn't take too much to explain either.
Amazo.
No, don't do Amazo. That's a robot. They can. What do you think?
Yeah, that'll never work. Age of Ultron.
Because Amazo doesn't make copies of an army and stuff like that. He just copies their powers and then beats them up.
This is also DC, so they can change whatever they want.
And then Batman comes up and is like, "You got our powers. Now you have our weaknesses. Here's kryptonite."
And then he adapts to that and punches him in the face.
Well, Batman usually just steps in and then he scans him. He's like, "You don't have powers," and he just doesn't deal with them. So that's how I've seen it in a lot of the different whatchamacallits.
I thought Batman's powers was money.
That is a huge power. Yes, it cures a lot of things.
If only Amazo could duplicate that.
Then
illegal.
Their big one, which is crazy, which I don't know why they kept this under wraps for so long. Cyborg coming out in 2020. Wow, that's terrible because Cyborg.
Wait, so that's after both of the Justice League?
That's
movies?
after. Yes, that's after.
So they're not even. He's not even important enough to help resolve whatever issue they have in Justice League.
At the very end, he's getting coffee from a barista.
Well,
no, that's still before. This list is all out of order for some reason in April. I mean, no, actually, I'm sorry. No, it is after. It's 2020. I saw June and then April, but it's 2020. That makes no sense.
Couldn't they introduce them in the movies and then after the movies they have?
Yeah, they could do that. Give him his own separate movie to explain
it doesn't,
stuff after.
but it doesn't need to, because what are you going to do if it's going to be one cohesive universe and stuff like that? And Darkseid or whatever Megaforce destroys a lot of the stuff, then it's just like, oh, here's Cyborg, guys. Let him stop something by himself. No. Because he's not going to stop anything by himself besides, I don't know, parking tickets or something like that.
I don't even know a villain for Cyborg.
Exactly.
One of the surprising things, too, is they got Suicide Squad and Cyborg by himself. But with Teen Titans being somewhat of a successful cartoon and known by people, why wouldn't they just go more for a Teen Titans series than a?
Is it that Cyborg?
Yes,
yeah.
It's that Cyborg.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
There's no other Cyborg.
I've got the Sonic if you've got the boom.
See, now this is what I said too, comical. Because they did a tremendous job with Young Justice, tremendous job, and I was like, that should have just been their franchise of movies, Young Justice, and then Young Justice Invasion. And for some reason, no, I know the reason. Excuse me. I went up on Wikipedia, and apparently one of the creators, or the whole staff or whatever, said that they stopped and canceled it because it was becoming more popular with younger female audience than it was with the male audience that they were trying to get.
Dang, we don't want women watching our television shows.
That almost upset me out loud when I saw that. I was like, that's the stupidest
That's the
thing.
closest Aaron gets to cursing. That upset me out loud.
That's exactly. I was like, it's stupid.
I am outraged.
The story was good. They had intriguing plot twists in the whole thing, and it was a borderline adult storyline and stuff like that.
Yeah, was there a love triangle in there?
It was good.
Yes, there was.
Oh, there you go. That's why
there was love triangles.
That explains it.
There was
were there glimmering vampires?
Bitches love.
You know what? You might want to put it on that type of thing, like one of those love things where it's like, oh yeah, But it is what it was, there isn't love stories.
Guys don't want. All we want to see is fighting, blood.
But they had all that.
We don't want to see no smooching.
They had the sickest fight scenes and everything. It was good stuff. It upset, and the stuff that they replaced it for was just stupid, very very stupid.
And then,
but then we're getting the Green Lantern in 2020, and the only person that can play Station, the Green Lantern.
See how I timed that?
Is for Jon Stewart is Idris Elba. You know who that is?
No.
Do you think there'll be a Jon Stewart?
If they do Jon Stewart, Idris Elba is the only person that can play him. I'm telling you.
Is that the guy who was in
Pacific Rim?
What was he in? Yeah.
Black guy in Pacific Rim.
Isn't he kind of old?
He's a little old.
Jon Stewart looks old though to me. I always
Wasn't
imagine
he
him as an older
in
guy.
One of these DC movies or something? Maybe I'm
no, he was in a Marvel movie.
Yeah, he's the guy from
He was
Thor.
in the Ghost Rider.
And
he was in Ghost Rider too.
Yeah. He's made it to Marvel all the way through, so never mind. I guess he cannot. He signed on with the right company.
With Green Lantern, maybe they can somehow not completely get rid of the. I don't know. Do they want to get rid of the last Green Lantern movie?
They probably do because it was widely considered terrible.
A flop.
Yeah, you can't have Ryan Reynolds again because he's Deadpool. So let's just.
Is he Deadpool? Is there
I think it's been confirmed.
Let's just call him Deadpool, even if he's not.
The only thing, maybe they're thinking well in advance for Green Lantern and gonna make him because maybe a film version of Darkest Night.
Oh man, I'd be all over that.
See?
But that would take a long time to set up because
That'd be
you have to do all the backstory with all the colors and everything.
Well, I don't know. They can pretty much cover a lot of that.
cover
in the Green
ground in
Lantern
that,
movie.
yeah.
So
Okay.
is this gonna be like the Hulk of DC, where they're gonna ignore the last Green Lantern like it never happened? And
Yeah.
Because they've never done that in DC.
Yeah, they'll do stuff like that, and it's just the smart move because you don't want to just be like, oh yeah, Ryan Reynolds got face reconstructive surgery and now he's this guy, but he's still he's still the Green Lantern.
There's been no talks really of Green Lantern. Like we've heard that they're casting Cyborg for the Justice League and all that. We haven't heard anything for Green Lantern yet.
Because
right?
I truly think DC doesn't have an idea of any of these characters.
Do you they don't even know who they are?
No, they're just like, we're just gonna put, look, hey everybody, the Flash is coming out.
I think DC's grabbing straws.
And then they're like,
The people in
DC's
charge
like,
of the
we're making a
movies
Wolverine
need
movie.
to talk
Oh, wait.
more with the people in charge of the comic books.
Yeah,
There's not enough of
there's
that.
a disconnection there. There's definitely a disconnection there, and DC just they haven't got it right.
They got lucky
so
with
long.
Batman.
I don't think they got lucky with Batman. Batman is an easy story to write.
I think that's it. Like Batman is just such a concrete. They retell the same story every single time,
And it's amazing.
in different ways. But it's just such one of those good stories that you can retell it, and they don't always have to be the best, but they'll always be good.
It's like Square Enix has Final Fantasy to fall back on, even though the rest of their games could suck. They can always go. It's just like that for
And
DC.
it will always make money.
Yeah,
It's like a blank check.
and just
Like
give,
Pokemon.
Yeah.
just give it 10 years. Oh, you guys forgot about Bruce Wayne and getting in that
Let us remind you.
There you go. They actually have
It
a
all
video.
started in a movie theater.
They have a thing on YouTube where you can see a montage of all the his parents getting shot.
Yeah, and
at
as
one-
you see, it happened like 20
a
times through
lot
different
of
mediums.
times, yeah. And they sync it so that all the gunshots go at the same
Yeah.
time. And I was like, that's pretty cool. I like that. I haven't watched any of the Gotham though.
I haven't watched any.
I
Gotham.
don't think I will
I don't
either.
care. It's so dumb, and it's not going to have any part in these movies, so that doesn't matter.
So why are you watching Flash and Arrow then if it's not any part?
Because those are good.
those are interesting and see how they tell the story. Gotham is Bruce Wayne as a child, and it's just Gordon Levy.
Yeah.
Doing all the
Gordon Levy stuff.
Yeah.
Making movies and
But so he goes and visits, young Bruce Wayne because he feels bad that his parents died and stuff. But he's taking care of the criminals. But he's not going to kill the criminals. Or not going to really catch them until Batman grows up.
And they won't be like really themselves until Batman appears.
Shows up and escalates shit.
So it's just going to be a whole bunch of people in suits giving you hints every time. I could fear you right now, but give me 20 years. So-
Like imagine if Arrow's first complete season was all on the island. That would be kind of
yeah, nobody would really watch that too much. You want to see the costume. You want to see the adventures that they have inside the costume. You want to see the Icon do the Icon stuff, not how he became for 4 seasons. I don't want to see that.
That's the thing. Like, if Gotham were to get wildly popular, they're not going to cut it off at like 4 seasons. They're going to go 9 or 10 and then just ruin everything you loved about the series.
Yeah, because then I think eventually they would start to introduce costumed bad guys.
They'd be like, oh shit, well, we've ran Penguin,
Yeah.
Cat, Black Catwoman, Woman Cat.
Black Catwoman.
We
Let's do White Catwoman now.
Yeah.
Halle Berry Catwoman.
Let's bring her. Yeah, that was Black Catwoman. But they keep, then they're going to have to be like, oh, well, we got to bust out the Joker. Let's ruin that storyline. Let's ruin those childhood
And
memories.
technically they could, because he was a character before in some stories, so they could be like, oh, he was the Red Hood, and they play out that as like a major villain or something, but nobody really wants to see that, I guess. Like, that's bad.
That's just bad, man.
Terrible. And then the last one to round up their year is their final in that Harry Potter
Of the Harry Potter thing.
sideline trilogy or whatever.
All right, so let's talk about Marvel, everybody.
Wow.
Yeah!
Before we get there, gentlemen, we'll wrap up the DC talkings.
Oh, the DC talk?
Yeah, where I say this. I'll end it on this, because they're coming out with another movie that none of the movies, their animated features are in this list. They just trying to highlight their live action stuff. But their animated features are the ones that are the best in storytelling and design, all that stuff.
Which is fine and dandy, as you would say.
Uh-huh.
But that is a fine and dandy thing for a very select amount of people.
People that watch cartoons. Like
A lot of them go straight to
But
DVD, don't they?
they all go straight to
Yeah,
DVD.
they all go straight
yeah.
to DVD, so you may catch them on Netflix. And I'm sorry, but when my wife is going to be just walking around the house. She loves Arrow, and she watches. We're going to watch The Flash and stuff. She's not going to be walking around watching the Batman animated movie.
But have you seen them? That's the thing.
No,
They're
that's
not
the
for
thing.
kids. It's just the same thing.
You can say that all you want.
It's
but
the same thing like video gamers that aren't, or people that aren't video gamers talk about us video gamers. That's a kiddie thing. It's the same mentality. You have to watch one of these things. I would say watch the Suicide Squad cartoon.
It can be great. I'm not saying that they're bad, but I'm saying they're just inaccessible to a lot of people, and that's what makes the money. That's what makes so this team. It's kind of like indie things.
Oh,
it's
if you're saying it's inaccessible,
kind of like indie
okay.
games. To think of that as like indie games. They're awesome. They're great storytelling.
Uh-huh.
They're the best. But you have to really be in that world to soak those things up.
And they've started to make it to where the animated movies are in the same universe now.
That's beautiful.
And it's ridiculous.
They will have the most awesome animated series that no one will watch.
Wow. I really want to see how well they do, because everyone they've put out since
I agree with you
Flashpoint.
in the fact you said if they would put some of these films in theaters, I think they could be more of an impact than they are now. I mean, getting a lot of adults to go to an animated film, I bet would be a little harder than it is to go see a blockbuster.
Yeah,
but
it would be difficult.
If you're not getting eyes on the product, you can make the most awesome intertwined cartoon universe in the world, but no one's going to see it.
They probably could get by if they made it in CG.
Yeah, CG. Make it CG. There you go.
Look at Avatar.
Look at Avatar.
Are you mocking me?
Are we mocking him?
Terrible. Marvel time, everybody. Marvel didn't just announce a whole bunch of movies. They also sneak teased a whole bunch of comic books that are coming out.
Sneak teased. I like that.
In the summer of 2015. Now, are we all still up on our comic books?
Hell yeah.
Because I'm not.
No.
So, it looks like it's just going to be a whole bunch of remakes?
Yeah, looks like, from what I've seen, it's a bunch of redone like cover arts for old titles that they already did.
Now, will they be reimaginings or...
I can only assume that they'll be reimaginings.
Wait. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. I've seen a lot of these things being posted. Is it just reprints of popular comics?
Because they're different.
Nope, they're different.
Because the World War Hulk one is distinctly different.
Yeah, and we'll get
and
there.
This isn't an animated... Oh, wait. Okay, this is all going to be animated.
These are going to be comic books, issues.
They're going to
paperbacks.
Why are they going to re-release?
They're going to reimagine them. They're going to be different.
Because it makes
They're not going to be the same.
Why?
Starting off with the Civil War, everybody, we have a comic book about two people, the North and the South, fighting over slavery. And we all know how this one plays out. The North wins, slaves are free, Spider-Man becomes Spider-Man.
And the South gets assassinated.
Exactly. Wow, you putting Cap as the South?
He lost, didn't he?
Did he lose, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
He
actually
lost.
He lost.
He gave up. At the end, he said, I lost.
Yeah.
In a jail cell.
And then the cover art for this one, they're showing Iron Man and Captain America pulling the Iron Spider, it looks like, in two different directions. Even though it doesn't look like Iron Spider, it just looks like the...
For those of you at home,
Silk
Iron
Spider.
Spider is basically just Spider-Man in a Tony Stark suit.
Now, in last episode, you guys were saying Spider-Man was the moral compass, I guess. He kept flip-flopping back and forth. Do you think they're going to do something different between this one? But
I'm looking at the cover art.
cover art and thinking no.
Doesn't accentuate it.
Yeah, if that was Black Panther sitting in there, I would have seen what they were doing. I was thinking maybe they're reimagining it to fit closer. Maybe they'll take the Fantastic Four's portions out of all these series, or the people they don't have license to really make it fit there. But they don't have the license to Spider-Man, and they still keep him in there.
What if they show the next panel of this picture and they rip off the mask of Spider-Man and it's Elektra?
I don't know what that means.
Mind blown, right?
What?
Just mind blown.
I don't understand why you did that.
And then the next one down on the list, Age of Ultron versus Marvel Zombies.
That sounds fun.
That sounds like it'll be completely irrelevant to the Marvel Universe, but just fun to read.
So it just looks like, I guess...
the artwork.
It says Age of Ultron. Yeah. I'm thinking from the cover art that it's just going to be like some type of
army.
rift.
All the zombies of the Marvel Universe. Oh, you mean like a rift between the dimensions?
Yeah.
So the Age of Ultron universe crosses over with the Marvel universe, Marvel Zombies universe?
Exactly.
Which is possible. Ultron pretty much won Age of Ultron, right?
Yeah.
And in
the
his
zombies
universe.
pretty much won.
And so he's going to want to maybe go to other...
Yeah, he might want to expand to other dimensions, and then he just kind of crosses over into the zombie universe. And
The
tries
zombie's
to
like, you
expand.
picked the wrong dimension to fuck with.
Too bad we can't eat this guy.
Yeah, they're all like robots. What are they going to starve to death?
Didn't...
Hard drives.
They don't starve, though.
Hard
Oh, they
drives.
don't starve?
No, they don't starve.
Hard drives. You know what's kind of cool is that, you know, the thing, like, how do you kill... David's always telling me these little theories about how little micro robots can take over
the world,
a body or something like that. You know how
I'm telling you all these things. Are you sure?
Wow, he's like, don't tell my secret evil genius mastermind plans on the radio.
Seriously, dude.
But that's going to be kind of cool. It's like the technical virus is going to get a virus itself of organic zombie mindless things.
So you mean
Is that
like
possible?
An organic versus technological
Isn't
kind
that-
of...
Usually it's the
Is it
other
just
way
gonna be
around.
si-
Usually it's like micro robots.
Isn't it just going to be Cable's disease?
Oh, the techno-organic
Yeah.
disease? No, I don't think so.
No?
Nah.
Am I going to do that?
I don't think that's going to be
How
involved.
are they going to mess with Ultron though? Because
You'll find out in
It'll
the
be
summer of
interesting.
2015.
Yeah.
Next
I might
one-
pick that one up.
Next one, we have the X-Men years of future past.
whoa, taking it to the next level.
We're not
Now I
going...
have no idea what that's going to be.
Now,
like.
if you
They
missed
skipped weeks of future past
and months,
They skipped months of future
yeah,
past.
went straight to years of future past.
Wow.
And Kitty Pryde, is that who's on the cover here?
Yeah.
Old school Kitty Pryde?
She
Yeah,
looks
I don't know why that,
extremely
right?
scared in her granny panties. And
Yeah, she does.
She's surrounded by a lot of different years, I'm guessing.
You know, I mean, based on the cover art from this one, I would say that this could actually just be a reprint of the old one. Because like they
Really?
just have the same rosters for the Brotherhood and the X-Men, just like redone in modern art style.
Yeah.
Because
It could
everything
just
else
be a
in that
reprint.
looks the same.
This one on the first one says it's clearly a continuation of the Days of Future Past storyline from 1981. So maybe it picks up right where the last one left off, maybe, and they have to do it all over again.
Whatever.
The next one that I'm actually sort of excited about is a new reimagining of Planet Hulk.
What?
As we know, Planet Hulk was originally a series about Hulk going to a planet and becoming a botanist, where he plants plenty of trees and shrubbery. And
I don't quite remember that.
That's not that?
That's actually kind of what happened, because everywhere he bled, trees popped up.
Boom, son.
Yeah, you missed a lot of key parts there.
But on this one, it looks like Planet Hulk is a Hulk-inhabited planet, like with nothing but Hulks in different
How
haircuts
that
and hairstyles.
planet exists.
And it's not just ripped in half.
Yeah.
And Steve Rogers fighting everybody.
Wow,
that Steve
shirtless
Rogers?
with, is that Thor's axe?
No, it's just an axe.
Yeah, it's just an axe he
You
found on the
sure?
ground when he
Not
got
that
there.
Jarbon axe?
It looks like he's jumping out of the mouth of a T-Rex here.
The axe he weld
Dinosaur
before
devil?
Mjolnir?
Is that who that is?
Yeah.
He has a name.
Yeah, I really thought he was just some random. Does he have anything to do with the Hulk series?
Not that I know of.
And apparently, everybody in the Hulk series are on Planet Hulk shop at the same Purple Barn accessory store.
Purple ripped shorts?
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool.
Next, we got Armor Wars.
Armor Wars looks interesting with Tony Stark and a lot of different armors.
Is that a Galactus Iron Man? back
Right?
there? What?
Galactus steals a suit, clearly, and he puts it on. And he's like, what the hell? How did you build one my size? Thanks.
Blowing up the
And he shoots
Liberty statue.
Yeah, shoots the Statue of Liberty.
Right
That's
through the
crazy.
face.
Then you have House of M,
Great
which
series.
is
I did like that series a lot, so I might be interested in this.
so that's going to be a cool one. And then the Infinity Gauntlet is getting a reboot as well. And it looks like we have Star-Lord in the
Wow.
background, looking a little skinny though, actually.
They really kind of put him in the forefront because it goes Thanos and Star-Lord and then some Nova people in the bottom.
Some Nova children. It looks like it's like a Nova family.
Or is a Nova midget?
One that I actually read, Old Man Logan's coming back. Everybody.
I thought he didn't
Why
age.
mess with perfection? Because that story was awesome.
No, he ages just slowly.
Very slowly.
Yeah, very, very slowly.
So this is like in the distant future then?
Yep.
Yeah.
In
Or
the
distant
year
past.
2000.
Then you got the Inhumans Rising and Attilan,
Attilan,
whatever, Rising. It looks like they've beat up the Justice League.
Yep.
You mean?
Nope, the Justice League.
Don't you mean? Nope.
And then something called The End. Now, everybody's speculating that this is the end of the actual Ultimate Universe. Like, they're going to stop after this comic series. Would you not care about that?
I don't follow any of their Ultimate series.
We did. You were really into the Ultimate's first 2 volumes. You're the one that told me about them and got me hyped.
Yeah, those were really nice. And then after that, it got really weird because they did the Ultimatum where they just kind of killed off half the universe.
Well, thanks everybody for listening to the Weekend Bang. That was your comic book breakdown. See you next week.
I do let you bang. Hey,
I didn't even hear the ending coming up until you started talking.
Yeah, just because they did Ultimatum where they killed like half the universe.
Now go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's terrible.
Yeah, they did that where they killed like half the universe, and then they did Cataclysm where they killed like the other half of the universe, and now they're gonna do the end where they just blow it all up.
Yeah, it's like let's kill what we had left.
Yeah,
I don't understand why they would do something like that though. I really liked Ultimate Spider-Man Miles Morales. Because he was black.
I feel like that's the one character. That's the one character they'll keep along,
isn't it?
Where he belonged, you said?
No, they'll keep him along.
Oh, they'll keep him along? You think he'll
cross dimensions.
So they'll blow up the whole universe and then he'll blow into the
But there's
canon?
one time
No,
portal.
because there's already been a lot of crossover.
Really?
Like he's met Peter Parker from the normal universe.
And they've done that. I need to watch them too because the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon that's on XD or something, Disney XD, seems to be amazing. Like they're introducing so many characters from the Marvel Universe, which I like. That means they're getting all the kids introduced to all these new people. So,
all right, shall we go downstairs and play?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, is he here?
Let's go play with ourselves.
Yeah, is he here? Did he text you or something?
Yeah, he's here.
Yeah, my wife texted me and said,
"There's a strange guy here with a board game in his hand."
He said, she said, "There's some guy that's here to play a game with you guys."